Numbers have a spiritual meaning, and the number 7 is one of the most important of all numbers. Both mankind and nature have the number 7 ingrained into our identities. There are septenary patterns throughout the world to which certain things are grouped into sevens. This is what septenary means. From the 7 classical planets to the 7 major oceans and continents. There are many correlations between gods, nature, and religion. We are going to go over what makes 7 so special and how it has influenced the world as we know it. So let's get into it. 7 Symbolism. The symbolism of 7 can be found in most major religions, as well as primitive religions. Nature guides us, and in that guidance there is a formula that groups many spiritual and natural things into sevens. Symbolically, the number 7 appears in things like the 7 silver candlesticks in Revelation, and the 7 heavens and 7 hells of Islam. Symbols deal with our subconscious, and the number 7 is deeply rooted in our minds, both psychologically and physically, such as the 7 vertebrae of the neck and the 7 vowels of the Latin alphabet, A, E, I, O, and U, including Y and W. 7 ancient gods. There is a strange correlation with the number 7, particularly with gods, planets, and natural elements. Our names for planets are modeled after the Roman gods, and they fit into the 7 classical luminaries of the ancient world. Those being the Moon, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. These are the 7 luminary bodies that can be seen by the naked eye. We have the 7 Japanese gods of fortune and the 7 planetary deities of Mesopotamia. There is a mystical correlation between the 7 metals of alchemy and their correspondences to the 7 luminaries, such as the moon in silver, the sun in gold, and Mercury and quicksilver. 7 days of the week. There is no coincidence that the 7 days of the week also correlate with the 7 luminaries. In fact, the 7 days of the week are named after the classical planets and luminaries, as well as the gods. Monday is the moon's day. Tuesday is Mars. Wednesday is Mercury or Woden's day. Thursday is Jupiter or Thor's day. Friday is Venus. Saturday is Saturn's day. And Sunday is the sun's day. These names even cross languages, with the French name for Tuesday being Mardi, for Mars, and the Italian name for Monday being Lunedì, for lunar. This has encoded 7 into the way we work, the way we organize time, and more. 7 wonders of the world. Although today there are many more wonders of the world, the ancients considered there to be 7. The 7 wonders of the ancient world are as follows: the Colossus of Rhodes, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, the statue of Zeus at Olympia, the Temple of Artemis, the Great Pyramid of Giza, and the Lighthouse of Alexandria. Only one of these 7 still exists today, that being the Great Pyramid of Giza. Little is known about some of the others, such as the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, but we know that these places did exist and that the ancients grouped them into 7. The 7 seas. Now that you are getting an idea of how this septenary system works, both naturally and spiritually, there is probably no wonder to you why there are 7 major oceans. As the Eurythmic said, "Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something." The composition of the planets seem to have an intelligent design. These are not just some random numbers being thrown around. They are complicated patterns. In these many 7s we have creation, we have organization, and we have a spiritual reason to exist. 7 colors of the rainbow. So now we move on to the colors of the rainbow. Newton decided that rainbows should be symbolized by 7 colors, so that they might relate to the notes on a musical scale. The 7 colors of the rainbow are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Sir Isaac Newton conducted many experiments with light, which he wrote about in his book titled Optics. He found that when clear white light passes through a prism, it refracts into different colors in a particular order. That septenary order formed what we call the rainbow. We know this order as ROYGBIV. The great secret of the sevens is the correlation between the different subjects. It bridges together knowledge in a way that gives them more meaning. The 7 steps of the ladder. The 7 steps of the ladder may be one of the most spiritual aspects of the number 7. The ladder is one of the most ancient symbols known to man. Some might know it as the 7 chakras, or Jacob's ladder that reaches to the stars, from which angels ascend and descend to heaven. The great bridge between the visible and the invisible, the material and the spiritual. The allegories of the past encoded a secret mystery that was ruled by sevens. The 7 steps can be seen as levels, the 7 heavens and the 7 hells, or the night journey of Muhammad, from which he travels through the orbits of the 7 planets. We also have Ishtar, who descends through the 7 gates of the underworld. All of these can be symbolically seen as the steps of the ladder. 7 days of creation. Anyone familiar with Christianity and the Bible knows that the Christian God created the earth in 6 days, and on the 7th day he rested. On day 1 he created light and darkness. Day 2, sky and sea. Day 3, land. Day 4, sun and moon. Day 5, birds and fish. Day 6, animals, man and woman. And on day 7, God rests. Why does this allegory contain the form of 7? Is it to show that there is an order to intelligent creation? The number 7 appears to be divine. It has a connection to the creation and the created. Our minds are both spiritually and psychologically connected to the number 7 in an almost poetic way. The 7 deadly sins. So many religions are steeped in the order of sevens. In the Bible, there are 7 deadly sins, also known as capital vices or cardinal sins. While the Bible does not mention them in order or in any one language, they are universally known and expressed. These sins are known as pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. The Bible says, "When pride comes, then comes disgrace, and the hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor," and so on. More sevens. There are many more sevens that span thousands of years of religion and history. We have the 7 virtues, the 7 silver candlesticks of the Bible, and the 7 churches. In the Vedic writings, we have the chariot pulled by 7 horses. The Japanese, as mentioned, has their 7 gods of fortune. The special powers of folklore are given to the 7th son of the 7th son. Solomon took 7 years to build his temple. Egypt had 7 years of plenty with 7 years of famine. The pharaohs of Egypt ordered things in groups of 7s. We have the 7 sages of Greece and China, the 7 kings of Rome, and the 7 liberal arts. We have the 7 pure notes in the diatonic scale, and the 7 Sephiroth of Judaism. So to conclude, with all these patterns, how can one believe that everything was created by mere accident? I think more and more we are realizing that nothing happens by accident. Everything happens according to rules and order. Until next time, this is Kindred Science.